Hi, welcome to my new progression series. This is my Ironman Poverty PVMer. As a poverty-locked Ironman, I will progress through the game, completing as many combat achievements as I can. My goal is to complete the Master tier and kill every boss in the game. However, there's a catch. Throughout my journey, I'll be limited to a small GP budget, which will increase through total levels and combat achievement progression. I'll be using the Dude Where's My Stuff plugin to track my overall character's value, and I will display my current value at all times just above my chat box. Let's talk details of the budget. For every total level gained, 1 GP will be added to the budget. And obviously this won't be enough to get the Master tier of combat achievements, so there's another form of progression. Every time I reach a point threshold for a new combat achievement tier, I'll get a multiplier on the budget. This multiplier starts at 1x and scales up to 1000x after the elite combat achievements. To make this more clear, here's some examples of what the budget might look like at various total levels and combat achievement tiers. At the very start of the account, I'll be limited strictly to my total level, but as I progress, the account's budget will max out at a little over 2 million GP. Now, really quickly, let's cover some more detailed rules. First, my character value must never exceed my current budget. Second, if it ever does exceed the budget, I have to immediately get back below the limit. This rule is to deal with the fact that some items are unavoidable, like the gauntlet chest. Instead of making exceptions as these cases come up, I'm just going to allow going over the limit temporarily as long as I immediately fix it. Third, untradeable gear will be valued by its PvP repair cost. This is so that Void isn't immediately the answer to every boss I fight, as it's a little more powerful than I'd like to have for free. The PvP costs are balanced around item power, so they seem like a good default value. Fourth, other untradables will be tracked by their High Alchemy price. This rule is the most likely one to change in the future if I find something I deem too cheesy, but I haven't researched every potentially useful untradable item in the game yet, so this is my initial guess. And finally, quest-specific untradables are not restricted, as they're not really impactful for PVM and would just be too annoying to handle case by case. However, if a tradable item is required for a quest, that will have to come in under budget. With that out of the way, let's begin. Alright, hello. Here we are, fresh off Tutorial Island. All I've done so far is drop all my items, go up to the bank over there and drop the coins there. And here we are with supposedly 0 GP. But as you can see on the overlay just above my chat, we are kind of cheating right now. We supposedly have 61 GP to our name. We have 32 total levels, so we've already broken the rules. As you can see on screen, which I'm showing now, that 61 GP is in fact the bronze pickaxe stored at Tombs of a Mascot. I don't know how to turn this off in the Dude Where's My Stuff plugin, so I'm going to treat it as actually existing on my account. So first things first is to get 30 total levels so that this isn't cheating. And my plan for that is agility, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of immediately with no GP gained while doing it. Here is my first Mark of Grace. That is worth 11,000 GP. I cannot pick it up. Grace on the ground is physically painful, but hopefully as I play this account, I'll start to lose that instinct slowly over time. We'll see. Alright, and this should be the final lap for 20 agility. After this we can go to Alcarid and keep running laps. So far our total level is at 50, soon to be 51, and I guess we just need, that means 10 more total levels. There it is. 10 more total levels to no longer be over budget. Alright, here we are arriving at Alcarid, and I guess I'll be here for the next 10 levels. And here is 30 agility coming in, which puts us at 61 total level. We are now no longer cheating with respect to the bronze pickaxe, and we can really start the account. While I was running these laps, I realized that there's a lot more ways to gain some early total levels than I thought. There's a whole bunch of quests, well, maybe not a whole bunch, at least a few quests that we can do that don't require any items or require very few items. So right now what I want to do is set up a bit of a buffer, because sometimes quest items have a token high alch value, which means that just picking them up in the middle of the quest is going to cause us to go over our budget. But there's some other options, like Hazy Occult, which I'm pretty sure doesn't have any items. We need to get the poison, but from what I can tell, the poison is worth 0. So we should just be able to do it, but just in case, and also because the price of a bronze pickaxe is somewhat unstable on the GE, I think what we're going to do is do the Varrock Museum quiz to gain ourselves a quick 16 total levels of buffer, and then go do Hazy Occult. Alright, I'm pretty sure that should be the entirety of the museum quiz. Let's talk to Orlando Smith and get our XP. That puts us at 77 total level. We now have a 16 GP buffer. So I think what we do now is we go try to do Hazy Occult. Alright, it seems I was wrong. Getting this bit of poison has upped our value to 821 GP. And indeed, if I examine it, it's got a GE average of 760. So Hazy Occult is a no-go. That's fine, we can just train Thieving on men, I suppose. But that is a bit of a downer. The Hazy Occult issue is not really a problem. It makes Thieving a little slower, but not a huge deal. Instead, we're just going to move on with the plan and go do Dwarf Cannon. We should have enough of a buffer to pick up this hammer. Ah. I suspect this isn't going to work now, is it? Huh. Alright, well, back to the drawing board, I guess. Alright, on to Plan C, which I suppose is back to an earlier plan, which is just train skills. I think we're just going to train Thieving manually, and indeed, coin pouches, as I hoped, do not have a value. So, as I explained earlier, we do have a rule where if we go over value, that's fine, as long as we drop and immediately go back under our limit without making any account progression. And so what I can do here is just thieve up to the max coin pouch limit, open them, drop the coins, and repeat. Alright, and there's our first full stack of coin pouches. We open it, our value is now 145 GP, that's fine, we drop the coins and continue. Alright, and there is level 5 Thieving. Just barely escaping dying, which wouldn't have been too bad of a problem, just would have had to come back. Anyway, onward to the bakery stalls. So I have discovered something while thieving. It looks like chocolate slices are not tradable, and therefore we can stock them up, and we now have a supply of food that has no cost. And there's 21 thieving, which is the requirement for Tribal Totem. Alright, this is where I get one of the items. Let's see. It's not worth anything. Perfect. And there's Tribal Totem quest complete. We immediately have too much GP, so we drop these swordfish, but that is 2 thieving levels, putting us at 99 total, so we have 38 GP to work with. So next up is Restless Ghost. Here's the Ghost Speak Amulet. It does not seem to actually cost anything, which is good. If I examine it, got a High Alch of 21, but it seems to me that for items that can't be traded on the Grand Exchange, the plugin does not know how to track their costs. I feel like for quest items, this is just completely fine to allow. If it requires something that can be traded on the Grand Exchange, like that poison from Hazy Occult, I'm still going to ban it until I have enough budget to actually do the quest. Alright, there's Restless Ghost done, 9 prayer and another 8 total levels. There's 8 attack and 7 more total levels. The dummy no longer gives XP. And there's one more thing I'd like to do before leaving Varrock. What I wanted to do before leaving was buy a hammer. See if I can afford it now. My total value is 102. My total level is 114. We are good. Yeah, okay, let's not do that. We'll finish this when we regen to full HP, I guess. Let's go back to the original plan and train combats by punching some chickens. Did you know that the 4 chickens at the Ranging Guild respawn in a little square? Because I didn't until this second. Alright, here is a massive strength level of 8, which might not look like that big a deal, but it is. Right now our total level is 122, And if you remember, a bronze pickaxe is 61 GP. So now that we have 2 times that, we have unlocked the mining skill. Just need to pick up a bronze pickaxe in Lumbridge, which I will probably do later. Well, we just reached the point in the Dwarf Cannon quest where we need to go to Melodian in Falador. On the way there, I think we're going to drop the hammer, grab the pickaxe spawn up on the roof of Lumbridge. There it is. And then, I think we train a bit of mining before we complete this. One interesting thing I just noticed is that upon picking up this pickaxe, my total value is not 61 times 2. This bronze pickaxe seems to be worth 55 GP, so maybe if I restart my client, what happened is the bronze pickaxe price updated in the GE. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. 110 GP for the 2 pickaxes. Alright, note to self that I should probably be restarting this client at least once a day, just to make sure that the GE prices are being kept up to date. This probably will matter less as time goes on, especially as we get more and more value and we'll be playing by less of a razor-thin margin, but for now this is good to know. Alright, there's 5 mining, and we got a beginner clue. I assume we're not going to be able to do this, and even if we can, it's probably not going to be that useful. But, I don't know, might as well carry it around. Well, there's the casket, so this, can't be anything useful to me, right? It is a longbow. There's the ammo mold, and we should be good to complete Dwarf Cannon. And there's Dwarf Cannon completed. Now have 141 total, thanks to getting 7 crafting. So with the 55 GP that our bronze pickaxe costs, we've got 86 GP, if I'm doing the math right, which might be enough to start using some tools, specifically a tinderbox. So we'll see if that's true once my home teleport comes off cooldown. I guess until then I'll go train defense on chickens or something. I can now pick up these bones. I have enough total levels, picking them up puts me at 125 GP and I'm at 146 total. So it's time to start getting prayer levels. And now for the other question, the tinderbox. Tinderbox puts us at 108, so it is worth 53 it looks like. So with that, I think we can go train firemaking. And now here's our firemaking method. These logs on the ground you can see are worth 92 GP on the Grand Exchange, but they are not entering my inventory. I can just click to light them and get 40 firemaking XP on each one. If I've lit them all, I can hop worlds and repeat. Alright, there is 30 firemaking. We'll probably come do more in the future, but that's all for now. I'm depositing that clue scroll because I don't think I'm ever going to do another clue. At least certainly not a beginner clue for a long time. So I'm happy just not getting them. And now, I think, since we are level 186, we've got a good bit to go before Waterfall still. But I think now we should switch to something a little faster now that our firemaking is higher. And what I have in mind is woodcutting. Alright, there's 30. We can move on to Willows, but real quick, I'm going to go back to Lumbridge, pickpocket some GP just to buy an iron axe to try to speed this up a little bit. Can't quite afford a steel axe, I don't think, but iron will be a substantial improvement that I really ought to have done a while ago, but I've just been kind of relaxing here. Alright, there is 35 woodcutting, and I think at this point, I'm going to call it quits for woodcutting. We are now at 220 total, and I feel somewhat safe trying to do Waterfall. So we're going to head over to Ned, and Ned should be able to sell us a rope for, I think, like 18 GP. I went a little overboard on the GP just because I didn't know how much the runes cost exactly. But if we trade here, buy the rope, drop the coins, drop the axe. Wow, I did not do that on purpose. 220 GP, we are at 220 total. Alright. Let's do Waterfall. Alright, we've regen to full HP. Let's let's drop our stuff and good luck. Tag this guy. Sprint over. Try to go for a flinch. That didn't quite work. Or no, it did. The skeleton went for me. Let's go. Alright, skeleton's still on me, I think. Yep, perfect to 0. So the Moss Guardian can't hit me. Sprint down here. Got a zombie. Go for the flinch again. Have the urn, he's de-aggroed. Perfect. Now all we have to do is sprint up again, flinch, and we should be home free. So long as nothing egregious happens. This zombie's gonna ignore me, perfect. And we are out. That is the scary part done. And now, should just be a matter of finishing the quest. Here we are at the other scary part of the quest. We've got the amulet equipped, we're full health, nearly full run, and we just need to make it through the gauntlet without dying. If we do that, we get the quest done. So let's go for it. Gotta sprint through, open the large door, turn on a defensive prayer just in case it might help. For all you know, it might have caused that 0. 5, that's dangerous. 3, that's very dangerous. I don't trust this. Yeah, I don't trust this at all. We are gonna head out the door, wait for regen, and do the latter part after. Alright, back to max HP. Time for attempt number 2. Turn on the prayer and sprint it. These guys max a 5, fire giants max an 11. 3. We win these, we win these, we win these. Only one hit and we win for sure. Ah, yeah, great. An 11. Look at that. Well, we lived. That's good, I guess. Alright, we use the amulet on the statue. We use the urn on the chalice and go from 220 total to 257. That is 37 more total levels, 37 more GP that we're allowed to work with. Wonderful. And now we have 51.5k character value, which is a problem. And is now no longer a problem. But it feels kinda bad finishing the episode there, considering that this is a series ostensibly about combat achievements. And there is a combat task somewhere in the easy tier for killing a fire giant. And I mean, we're here, got melee stats, we might as well, right? So, time to get flinching. There it is. That is a medium task in the Kandarin area, and our first combat achievement completion, which puts us at 1.34 to go. That said, that is an end to episode 1 of the poverty-locked PVM Ironman. Next episode, the plan is going to be to keep skilling, keep doing some combat achievements, and make plans as to how to get the remaining 34 points without going insane with this GP limitation. So with that, see you next time.